everyone, welcome back to my class. You know that I am Halimunisa, teacher and junior lecturer of Ahmed High School and Junior College. So in today's class we will discuss about the chapter 5th, that is from first year civics and named as political ideologies. So here in this lesson, here the ideology is a system of idea and ideals which form the basis of political theory and political policies. So here the political ideologies like the liberalism, socialism, communism and the Gandhism are there to provide for the evaluation of the nature of state and its policy formulation, and also the basis for its relationship between the man and the society. So here the liberalism is focuses on the liberty of the individual and the resistance or the state invention, whereas the socialism is emphasizes the necessity to bring about the equality in the society, where the Gandhism is focuses to build the politics on the principles of truth, non-violence and satyagraha. So here now we will see the details of that all. Okay, so first one is that the individualism. So here meaning, the first is that the individual means that the state should have the individual alone, and this theory is also known as the laissez-faire theory. Here the laissez-faire is a French term which means leave alone. So it regards the individual as the center of the social life, and exactly. So here by this, according to this theory, the individual freedom should be given maximum scope and the state interference should be reduced to the minimum. Get it here? So here the individualist regards the state as a necessary evil. It is necessary because it has to protect the individual from violence and fraud. Exactly. That's why this evil, because of its existence, is a threat to the individual freedom. So it is desirable to have the state's interference as little as possible to this. So here the lesser and the functions performed by the state are the more performed by the state, that is the more is the liberty enjoyed by the individual. Exactly. Here the state which performs the limited functions to protection is known as the police state. So here it is a negative state as it performs the functions to protection and to resistance. So it does not perform the positive functions to the development and the welfare orientation, exactly like the modern welfare states. So here the state should perform these limited functions like protection of the individuals and of the state from foreign aggressions, and protection of property from robbery and damage, and then the protection of individual from false contract and the breach of contracts. Exactly. Here after this meaning, now we will see that the origin and growth. During the 18th century, there exists in Europe tyrannical of the monarchical government. So here the some political thinkers like Locke and Rousseau, who were called as some political thinkers like the Locke and Rousseau had laid the stress on the liberties of the individual, but they were in abstract form. So it is in the 19th century that the individualism took concentrate shape. Exactly. So individualism is advocated on the various ground of arguments, and that are ethical argument, economic argument, biological argument, empirical argument. So all these are the individualism's arguments. Now after the individualism, now we will see about the liberalism. Come to liberalism. Here liberalism is a broader philosophy which includes in it that individualism and welfare state concepts. Here the individualism is studied as a part of the larger classical liberalism which emphasis on negative state concept, focusing on individual as the rational creature and state as a performing just to protective and regulatory functions. Get it here? So this kind of liberalism is known as the classical liberalism. So after being modified and reformed by the J.S. Mill Here the developed by the Jeremy Bentham is studied as a part of individualism. So here the liberalism as a movement may be divided into two periods, and there are the earlier liberalism that before the J.S. Mill, and here the second is that the modern liberalism that is after J.S. Mill. Here J.S. Mill stands in between two. Get it here. So here the modern liberalism is different from the 19th century's liberalism. So here there was a transformation of liberalism in 20th century, that it was no more an ideology of the middle classes but changed into an ideology of broad masses with the influence of the 19th century English philosopher, that is T.H. Green, from 1836 to 1882. Get it here. So here the moral dimensions was added to liberalism, and full-fledged theory of welfare state was advanced, and it became the part of the modern liberalism. Get it? So after this introduction, now we will see the meaning and definition of liberalism. So here in meaning and definition, there is because of this the wide spectrum of the philosophers that spanning over the 3 centuries. It is difficult to give prices and the exact definition. Exactly. So here the liberalism is a classical sense stood for the liberty of an individual and democratic institutions and free enterprise. So here, whereas the modern liberalism stands for a positive role of the state in securing a dignified life to the individuals. So Webster's Unified Dictionary and the encyclopedia that says the liberalism about is that the term liberalism is indicating the tendency towards the extending individual rights and liberties as against the rigid political, economic and bureaucratic authorities. Exactly. So here politically the term was formally used to denote a movement of progressive reform in government and has been applied at a various time to parties' agitation for the particular kind of liberty here. So the basic tenets of this are man, common interest, artificial institutions, primary procedure, civil liberties, freedom of contract, public policy, neoliberalism. Here the neoliberalism stands for the contemporary version of the classical liberalism only, which seeks to restore the laissez-faire individualism. So it denounces the welfare state that oppose state intervention and control of economic activities. Here the champions of neoliberalism stands for the rolling back the state which has immensely expanded its sphere of activities. Get it here? So here after liberalism, now we will see about the socialism. Socialism is considered as the most important theory in political science. Exactly. It was advocated and popularized to oppose the defects in individualist and capitalist system. So here prior to the original advocacy of socialism, capitalist system got prominence in several Western countries. So here the free enterprise and the unfettered competition in business, trade, commerce led to distortion in human values and exploitation of the laborers by the capitalist here. So this in turn here made human society an abode for hunger, poverty and inequalities. So it is under these conditions that socialism come into prominence to avoid the agonies and the miseries of ordinary men. Here the advocates of the socialism declared that the revolution is imminent in the state for the realization of individuals and the interest and the liberties and the freedoms. So here they disagree with the individualist's view that curbs on private property and competition should be lifted out completely. So on the whole, the prominence of socialism emphasizes the certain matters like regulation of private enterprises and expansion of the state activity and encouraging public sector enterprises and then the cooperative organizations. So etc. are there. So during the first quarter of the 19th century, some philosophers like Roberton and Saint Simon and Simonandi and Charles has extensively propagated the socialist ideas in their writings. Here are the meaning and definitions. The term socialism is defined by many writers in many ways. Exactly. So that is why it is not easy to give a definition agreeable to one and all. So here according to the Huggins, he is regarded the socialism as a political movement of the working class which aims to abolish the exploitation by means of collective ownership and democratic management of the instruments of production and distribution. Exactly. So here some writers are regarded socialism as a democratic movement meant for promoting the justice and liberty and for managing the society efficient principles. So here main principles, and some of the main principles of socialism are importance of society, organic unity of society, abolition of capitalism, abolition of competition, belief in equality, opposition to private property, social ownership of material factors, and at last centralized planning system. After main principles, here is significance. In significance, socialism is a prominent theory of state activity and it suggests the way and means required for the overcome the difficulties and defects in the contemporary social order. So it also emphasizes the need for improving the material conditions of the human beings and for promoting their well-being, and also it advocated for the provision of the basic living conditions to the less unemployed, unfortunate and deprived sections of society, and also it upheld the inventions of the state in the eradication of the economic inequalities, and also it favored a centralized planning authority for the proper utilization of the available economic resources. Get it here? And also here the socialism announced its goal of achieving the society free from exploitation, hunger, poverty and discrimination. So it declared its goal of eliminating the private property and making the tiller as owner of the soil through the land reforms, while the state playing a key role. So it wished for the reconstruction of society through the peaceful method. Get it? So after this significance, now we will see about the kinds of socialism. So here the kinds of socialism. All the socialists accept the important principles of socialism. Exactly. But there are the different opinions in the method to be followed to reach those goals. Exactly. So some people believe that these goals could not be achieved only through the violent revolution, whereas some people thought that it would be possible through the present political system itself. So here, as a result of these differences of opinion, so after kinds of socialism, now we will see the scientific socialism or Marxism here. The Marxism is called as a scientific socialism, as it's principally based upon a belief that the historical forces. So it determined that the usually by the violent means the achievement of the socialist goals. The basic principles of Marxism are dialectical materialism, historical materialism, surplus value, destruction of capitalism, class war, dictatorship of the proletariat, stateless and classless society. So here the Gandhism on the basic ideas. Here the Gandhi, a brief biography is there, we will see. Here the Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was born at Porbandar in Gujarat in 1869. We know this very well. So he was called as a Mahatma, that means the great soul, by Rabindranath Tagore. And he was the father of our nation. Exactly. And he applied the age-old Asian Indian ideals like truth, non-violence and satyagraha as a political weapons and won the freedom, not by the hate but by loving the enemy. Exactly. So he preached only whatever he practiced. So here the Gandhi's public life begins with his struggle against the racial discrimination and the apartheid policies of the white against the Indian community in South Africa. Exactly. So after he come back to India in 1915, here the Gandhi founded Sabarmati Ashram at Ahmedabad and Punar Ashram at Nagpur in 1915 and in 1917. So here the Gandhi mobilized people in a small way to observe the protest against the imposing illegal and immoral taxes on traders and the irregularities in the immigration of Indian agricultural labor to the British colonies. So in 1917 and in 1918 here Gandhi led a great movement against the British exploitation of coffee plantation workers and indigo farmers in Champaran district of Bihar. So these movements of Gandhi influenced the public and helped him to emerge as a great leader coming forward for the freedom. So here the nationalists began to believe that his movements, writings and ideas are conducive to the freedom struggle. Exactly. Here the historians observe the history of Indian freedom struggle since 1920 to 1947 was the history of Gandhian leadership. Exactly. So which united the people on the doctrine of truth, non-violence and satyagraha. Absolutely. Force influence the Gandhian philosophy is that the ideas of Socrates, Plato, Thareau, Ruskin and Tolstoy. The message like Gautama Buddha and the Christ and the teachings of the Jain and the scripts books like the Bhagavad Gita and the Old Testaments like Quran and the mythologicals and the legendary stories of Hindu Puranas influence the Gandhian ideals. Exactly. So here some are the basic ideas of Gandhism are they metaphysical idealism, ethical absolutism and doctrine of non-violence, doctrine of satyagraha, religion and politics, ends and mean, trusteeship. So in this chapter that is political ideologies, here we come to know about the liberalism did a great services by focusing on the necessity of development of individuals and expression of a free will. Exactly. And against this the socialism was advocated to correct the defects of individualism and the capitalist system, and here to bring about the equality and the scientific socialism to establish the classless and the stateless society. Exactly. So and about the Gandhian political thought was a mixed combination of the individualism, idealism and socialism that is based on the principles of exactly non-violence, truth and satyagraha. So by this we have completed our chapter 5th, that is political ideologies from civics. Thank you.